moved in, he wasn't honest. He was trying to lie to me that he wasn't gay.
Can you understand that he maybe did that because he didn't want you to be angry with him or to be bothered by what he does?
Yeah.
Now, are you concerned maybe because you're afraid that friends might tease you at school?
Yeah.
Do they tease you at all?
I haven't told anybody about it.
But can you understand that this is who your dad is?
Yeah.
But you don't accept it?
Yeah. And that...
You do accept it or you don't? Do you want your dad to be gay?
No, I don't.
He needs a more stable life. You don't give someone else his room.
Wait, because he's gay, he can't provide a stable life for his son?
Not when he has to put him on the couch and give someone else.
But I asked him first, he said that was fine.
Well, that's not what he told me.
But isn't that the truth, Zachary?
And I believe him.
No, you didn't ask
Zachary, yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Whatever.
Zachary, can you maybe understand that being gay isn't a choice? That you're born that way?
Yeah.
But then you're basically not accepting your dad for who he is. I know it's hard to understand, but I mean, if you could change the fact that you were gay, would you, Shane?
No.
I would imagine you wouldn't change. Because a lot of people say that being gay is not a choice, you're born with it. It's such a hard life to begin with. This must be tearing you apart, that your son does not accept who you are.
It does, but I don't have a social life. I don't do nothing with nobody. I mean, I very seldomly go out. Very seldom go out. I don't go out to bars. I don't hang out at bars. I'm always home with him. I might go out once a week, and I don't even stay that long because I think of him, so I go back home.
All right, you don't have to defend yourself to me, but what do you want to say to your son?
I mean, I don't,
What do you want to say to your son?
I love him, and I want him to accept me for who I am.
You need to tell him, not me.
I'm not trying to push it on him. I mean, I love him. I do everything for him, and I try to spend all my time with him. I mean, actually, I'm always with him. He gets more than his sister and brother get.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to know where the mother at in this situation.
Where is the mother? She's living in Florida?
She lives in Michigan.
Michigan. You know, I want to get Donald Suggs involved today. He is our expert here today, and he's a writer and a gay activist, and you deal with gay and teen issues on a daily basis, I would imagine. So what do you make of this situation? I mean, I'm concerned for both parts of the family.
I think that, first of all, that everybody has ideas about how you should be raising your son, but you're the one that's taking the responsibility for raising him, so you have to sit down and make some decisions about what is or isn't appropriate for him. And then you have to really be consistent about that. You can't tell him one thing, turn around and say another. You can't hide things, because then that sends a message to him that being gay is something to hide.
All right.
You know? But I also think you have to keep in mind, I mean, what's appropriate for gay people is the same thing that's appropriate for straight people.
Right.
I mean, you know, your children don't want to have to deal with your sex life, not in a direct way.
And neither would they want to deal with it if it was a heterosexual.
Right, absolutely.
Kids don't want to see their parents having sex or hear about it.
Right.
Right, and parents don't, and yeah, exactly.
Okay, so is there anything you can say to Zach, who's so young, yet he's being brought up, and I have a feeling, Isla, you are feeding him this negative information. You are giving him this negative vibe about gay people, and that's just not fair.
I don't think I am. I just stand by like what Zach tells me. And then...
Well, but no, you're like the little, like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You're, like, siding with Zach, and it's not about sides. It's about learning to live together and accept each other for who they are.
I do agree with that.
Okay, what can you say to Zach?
Well, Zach, who your father is not negotiable. He is who he is. But I think that your relationship is. Tell him what you're comfortable with, but also try and understand his feelings. He needs a social life. He has to balance that with you, obviously, but he needs a social life, and you need to be sensitive to that. So just try and talk it out and sit down and figure out what kind of relationship is going to work for both of you.
We need to go. When we come back, we'll meet a teen who says that when he told his mom he was gay, she called him names and started making gay jokes behind his back. But she says if he'd just been man enough to come out to her himself, she probably wouldn't be taking it so badly. We'll meet him next.
She was married 3 times, and she said that she wasn't happy with them. Well, now she's with the girl, and I still don't see her happy.
She doesn't beat me, she doesn't abuse me or abuse them. And
just told us how painful it is to have his son reject him just because he's gay. But Dale says it's been equally devastating to have his own mother turn on him. He says she even started calling him names. Dale, what kind of names has she been calling you?
Well, she started out by calling me a faggot and a queer and then making gay jokes behind my back. She's also made reference to the point that she don't have 2 boys and a girl. She has 2 girls and a boy.
And how does that make you feel?
She tries to make me feel that I'm, like, wrong for what I do. But in my eyes, I do what I want to do, and it's right to me. But she feels that it should be wrong.
But how does that make you feel when your own mother is calling you names and saying nasty things behind your back?
Unwanted, like, unloved, not respected. You know, like I have no place in her life anymore or something.
And you actually, you were going to tell her at a certain time, but she found out sort of the way she wasn't supposed to.
My boyfriend was sending letters to my house, and they opened them and read them, and they confronted me with it, and everybody in my house was then calling me a faggot and a queer, and they told me that they were going to disown me, move away, and I was never going to see him again.
That is awful. And you are here to say what to your mom?
She needs to let me live my life the way I want to live it and respect me for who I am because I respect her for who she is and let her live her life the way that she wants to.
Let's meet your mom and talk to her. Come on out, Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for joining us. Is it true that you said these things about your son?
I've called him gay and a faggot before, yes.
And why?
Because I was hurt. I mean, I had so much more for Dale. I didn't hear it from Dale. I heard it from my cousin. I mean, everybody kept saying he was gay, and I kept saying, no, he's not, you know. And
so you felt that this was a personal attack on you?
Not that it was a personal attack. I mean, I just didn't want to believe it, you know, and everybody kept telling me this and everything, and I kept saying, no, he's not. You know, I already have one son that's a screw-up, you know, and I expected a lot more for Dale.
So are you saying because he's gay, he's a screw-up?
No.
Well, that's what you just implied.
No, I just wanted so much more for Dale than...
So what is so bad about being gay in your eyes?
It's not that it's being bad. I mean, I have 2 cousins that are gay. One of them has died, and the other one is dying of AIDS. And I don't want that to happen to my son. I mean, I love him dearly, and I just can't see that happening to him.
But do you accept him for who he is? You say you love him.
Yes, I do. I mean, yeah, at first, you know, people were saying, they were making jokes about it, and yes, I was laughing about it, but I was laughing to not start crying and hurting so bad is what I was doing.
So it must be a shock. Donald,
yes.
for moms and sons and daughters to accept this, it is probably a shock in the beginning.
Sure, because they don't know what it means. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what it means for the rest of someone's life. So part of what you have to do is educate them about that and let them know what your life actually is like and that you haven't changed.
And Dale, what is your life like?
As in what I do different now?
Yeah, I mean, what makes you different from the guy you used to be before she knew you were gay?
Nothing really. I'm just not home as much. I go out with friends. I have more friends than I did before anybody knew and before I started hanging out with all the people I hang out with.
And Cheryl, you thought that he might be gay growing up. You thought there were signs?
I didn't know till about a year ago or so. He was getting letters, and my ex-fiance was opening them up and reading them. And
what's up with that? What's up with your fiance doing that?
I was at work when...
That is so disrespectful.
He was reading them, and he was telling me about it, and I'm going, you know, it's just a phase or something, you know.
Is it a phase, Dale?
No.
Because, you know, when I would ask Dale, are you gay? No, Mom. Me and Shauna are trying to get back together, you know. That's what
I know you're angry with him for not being honest with you,
yes.
But can you understand, because of your reaction, can you understand why he might have been scared and didn't want to confront you and tell you?
I think a lot more of it was mainly because of my ex-fiance, you know, saying no son of mine, no stepson of mine is going to be gay. And, you know, like I told him, so what, you know, if that's what he wants to do, you know, that's fine. I'm still going to love him. I'm not going to disown him. I don't
even think the right words are to say that's what he wants to do. That's who he is.
He is, yeah, who he is.
Period.
I still love him, you know, I don't disown him.
Dale, do you feel like your mother loves you and accepts you?
She loves me, but I don't feel that she accepts me all the way because of comments that she still makes.
What do you want to say to her today? Tell her how it makes you feel.
It makes me feel that I'm like unloved or strung out from the family. I'm like a separate part of the family, a disgrace actually, and you should respect me and love me for who I am and what I do.
I do love you for who you are, Dale.
What? I didn't hear you, Mom.
I said I do love you, Dale, for who you are.
I know you love me, but it don't seem like it. I mean, your actions don't really show it.
What do you want me to do? I've tried to
Well, why don't you wrap your arms around him and start there?
I do. I tell him I love him all the time.
Oh, damn.
It's a start. It's a start. Up next, two daughters who say their mom was married to men 3 times before, so they do not understand why she has started to date a woman now. But Mom says they better get used to it because even if she stops dating this woman, she is never going to date another man. We'll be back. You'd be if your mom suddenly went from dating men to dating women. Josephine says that's what she started doing 3.5 years ago, and her kids still can't get over it. First of all, Josephine, I got to ask you, I know it's a dumb question. Why'd you stop dating men to start dating women?
Well, Ricky, I was married 3 times. There was alcohol abuse, mental abuse, even sexual abuse, and I was at a point in my life where I really was convinced I didn't want a man in my life, and then I met Jesucita, and we were attracted to each other. At first, it was just as friends, something I didn't think would last, but it's been 3.5 years, and I really care about her.
And so what did you tell your kids when suddenly you weren't dating husband number 4?
Well, I told them, they knew how I felt, that I was alone for a period of time, and I was comfortable with that. But then I realized I was lonely, and I told them if they weren't happy with it, that I wouldn't see her, and they weren't happy with it. So then I asked them to give it a chance, you know, just give it a chance. And they said they would because they've always, you know, tried to make Mom happy, but they've made it hard on me.
And you, in fact, were living together at one point, but the kids had such a hard time with it that you've actually separated physically. Right. You're still together, but you just live separately.
Right. We live together, but we now live apart in separate households, but it still isn't enough. You know, we never do anything alone. We never go anywhere alone. We can't plan anything. When we fight, they love that. They feed into that, but we can't plan anything without them saying, well, is she going, you know? Or when we fight, well, why don't you just get a man, Mom? You don't need her, get a man.
But yet they like you, Jesucita.
To a point, I guess, that as long as they feel that I'm not taking her attention away from them.
What do you want to say to them today?
Well, I'd like them to say they have their lives, they're going to grow up and do what they want to do, and I would like for them to accept me being with Jesucita and let us have a life together. I'm happy with her.
All right, let's meet your children and talk to them. Cynthia and Marie, come on out. Welcome, ladies. Marie, what's so bad about your mom's girlfriend?
It's not her girlfriend, it's that she's a girl. I would feel that way if it was any girl, not just Jesucita. It's embarrassing. People talk and they give us a hard time about it.
Cynthia, your friends bother you at school because of this?
Yeah, and well, first of all, I don't have a problem with them, but she was married 3 times and she said that she wasn't happy with them. Well, now she's with the girl and I still don't see her happy.
But we have problems like any straight couple would have, and they need to realize that. She doesn't beat me, she doesn't abuse me or abuse them. And
that's a start. But Cynthia, are you tortured at school? Do kids make fun of you because
I even got in a fight because it embarrasses me because my mom, okay, she's with the girl and everything, but they're still spreading rumors and everything that my mom was gay around the school. Well, it embarrassed me, so I got in a fight with her and everything. But still now they're still together, but it still embarrasses me.
Why does it embarrass you?
Because, I mean, okay, humans were made as separate people. I'm just saying, not like I'm all smart or anything, but I just think that a girl should be with a man and a man should be with a woman.
Well, I'm embarrassed by some of your friends.
A large majority actually believe that, whether you guys are going to admit it today or not. We need to call you on it. Yes, okay.
I have a question for Josephine. Well, first of all, not all men beat people, not all men drink, not all men sexually abuse. So are you with, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Jesucita, just because you don't think you can find a right man? Do you feel that you're gay, or is this just because you're fed up with men?
I'm fed up with men, and I'm totally committed to her. So if that means I'm gay, then I guess I'm gay.
Your kids are rolling their eyes.
Oh, well.
Well, because, like she said, that not all men beat and everything. And that's what she said. That's what my mom says about all her ex-husbands. I say the same thing. Not all men are like that. They're not all like that, and she just needs to go out there and find one that's not like that.
But if she's happy, don't you want your mother to be happy?
But she don't act like it. It's not, okay, whenever they fight, it's not like we love it or anything. They always fight, okay? So I don't see her happy. That's not happy if you ask me.
But you're happy when I'm buying you things, taking you places. That makes you happy.
Does that make you happy, you guys?
She doesn't take me anywhere or buy me anything. I just do that myself.
If she did, would that make you happy? Would you accept her in your family?
I accept her, but yeah, she is part of our family, but I don't like the fact that she's with my mom.
If you accept her, it's unconditional. There should be no buts. Do you accept her or don't you?
I don't know.
And Ricky, I've always put them first. They can't say, it's hard being a single mom, they can't say I have never put them first. And I'm just at a point in my life where I want to put me first sometimes, before it's too late.
All right, coming up, this man says he and his sister used to be best friends until he told her he was gay, and believe it or not, she has not spoken to him since. So what would they have to say to each other when they come face to face for the first time in a year? Stay tuned to find out.
I think it's time that they stand by me, because I've always stood by them and I always will.
Told us how painful it's been to be rejected by their loved ones just because they're gay. But at least in most of these cases, the parties involved still are speaking to each other. Our next guest, Daryl, says he's not so lucky. In fact, he and his sister Bridget have not spoken in over a year, not since he told her he was gay. Daryl, what happened when you told her?
Well, when I first told her that I was gay, she kind of took it well. She said that she would always support me, she would always be there for me, and that I could always count on her if I ever needed anything. But all of a sudden, the script kind of flipped when she kind of went her way and I went mine. We were both in college, and I kind of called her one time, and she wouldn't accept my phone call, so I kept calling because I was wondering what was really going on. And so eventually, you know, I basically went my way, she went hers, so I developed my own life.
And you guys were closer than close. You were extremely close.
Yeah.
So what has that done to you? I mean, were you concerned when you told her in the first place that she might react this way?
I was concerned because I didn't want her to take the same reaction as my mother, but, you know, I felt that because we were so close in age that I thought she would understand a little bit more, and I just thought she would really understand.
Well, what do you want to say to her today? I know it's been over a year.
Well, I want to tell her that no matter what, that I'm still the same Daryl, that we'll always, you know, be brother and sister, and I want to tell her that I do love her regardless of what, and I want us to leave here today as friends as well as, you know, brother and sister, and I would like to educate her on what she does not understand.
All right, let's bring her out. Bridget, come on out. Hi, Bridget. Thanks for joining us. Why wouldn't you accept his phone calls?
I really just didn't know what to say to him. So it's like our conversation, what could we possibly talk about?
Well, what did you used to talk about?
Everything. shopping, cars, just the usual.
Can't you still talk about that?
Well, yeah.
What does it matter what he does behind closed doors? What does it matter to you?
It shouldn't, but like, it's like, this is my brother. And the thing is, it's just like, it just doesn't seem like we can actually do the same things we used to do. You know, do I talk about boys to him now all the time, or?
That could be fun.
No.
What are you asking for, Daryl? What do you want from your sister?
I really, you know, I want her to continue to be my sister like she's always been. I want her to be my guiding light when I really don't have anybody to turn to and talk to. You know, I want her to understand me as a person, not my sexuality, but me as a person. I would like to educate her, like I said earlier. I would just like to educate her on gay people so she would understand, so she won't treat other gay people the way that I've been treated before.
So what can you say to her and to everybody? Because there are a lot of people, there are a lot of misconceptions out there about gay people that you choose to be gay. I don't think it was a choice, because I would never choose to sit and be ridiculed by millions of people. I would never choose to have the Bible thrown in my face. I would never choose to be distant or separated from my mother because she doesn't accept something. Can you understand that it's not a choice, Bridget? This is who he was when he was little. He just didn't know who he was?
I can accept that. I mean, I can understand that.
Does it help you to make it easier to know that he is still the same brother you had long before he told you his sexual preference?
A little. I mean, throughout this past year, I've gone on my own and done like my own personal research to read and try to educate myself, trying to better understand his situation so that I could at some point approach him with the matter.
Are you more accepting of it now?
A little.
A little. All right, we've come somewhere. Let's see if we can go further. When we come back, a 14-year-old boy who says these angry relatives better figure out what's more important to them, the opinions of strangers or their loved ones. His story is coming up next. And Marie told us how hard it's been for them to accept the fact that one of their parents is gay. But our next guest, Alex, who is here with his lesbian mom, Bonnie, says even though it's hard, you cannot stop loving your parents just because they're gay. Alex, tell us some of the tough times that you've had to face.
When I was 5, there was a girl that had been my neighbor, and we had been best friends for our entire lives. And her father decided that our house wasn't good enough for her and that she couldn't come over anymore. And that was like the hardest thing that's ever happened to me. That's like, you know, I was seriously traumatized. It was my best friend, and we never got to see each other again for years. And then, you know, all throughout school, I've had people picking on me for it, and, you know, people always, oh, your mom is gay, you're a weirdo, you're different, and I've just learned to live with it. And I've learned that if those people are going to be like that, then I don't want to be their friends anyways.
Bonnie, you must be so proud.
That's my boy.
So what advice do you have for the other young people on the show today?
I think you should remember it's not your parents' fault that you have problems with it. It's that, you know, the world is a hateful place, and there's a lot of people out there that have closed minds about things, and you know, they don't have any right to make you feel bad just because your parent is different, or your parents being who they want to be, and you know, they're going to be happier that way.
Cynthia, are you listening? You look like you're not listening. Does that make sense to you? Can you understand that it's not a reflection of you, it's not about you, it's about your mom?
Yes, I do, and everything, and it just really embarrasses me because whenever I told my friends, yeah, I'm going to the Rikki Lake show, I was really happy and everything, and they asked me, well, why? What do I tell them? I told them all, Well, watch it and you'll find out. So I don't know what to tell him.
So, Alex, what would you say to Cynthia?
I think you're going to want to tell them sooner or later, and the earlier you do it, then the more time they'll have to accept you and to accept your mom for who she is.
Donald, what can she say? She's at a loss for words. What can she say? What can Zach do to get more comfortable with the fact that his dad is just being who he is?
Well, I think the dad has to help him out a little. I mean, you are the dad, so you make the decisions. But I think the first decision you need to make is to get this man out of your house. I mean, if you're sleeping in the same bed with this man, you say he's not your lover, you know, I think that would be really helpful.
Right.
And that would help sort of build the trust that you need to improve your relationship.
He gets really jealous of him, too. That's why. And he tries to buy him things to get to me. And like I said, we're not lovers, but he tries to get to him. He buys him expensive toys like remote control cars, and every time he goes somewhere, he brings him something back and tries to get close to me, but that's not what they think it is, and I try to explain that to him.
And you can't buy a kid's love.
Right,
Sure.
right.
It sounds like it's a confusing
Especially
situation.
to get to me, you just can't buy him, so.
I mean, I applaud you, Alex. It's so great that you... What made you different from these other kids?
I don't know. I guess I've just been living with it all my life. You know, I've always known that my mom was a lesbian, that she was different, and you know, I've gone through a lot of painful things, and I've learned that, you know, those people don't matter. If they're going to be like that and close-minded and so petty about it, then they're not worth, you know, my attention.
Yes, Bonnie.
I think the hardest thing as a parent is to realize that it is going to be hard for your kids. And it doesn't matter how positive we are, you are going to face things from your friends at school. And I really am grateful to our kids that they have been willing to go through life and to learn how to deal with that embarrassment and how to deal with that being picked on. Because all kinds of people in the world pick on other people. And I just want to tell people how proud I was of Alex when he made this button when he was about 9. It says, "Being gay is not perverse, but bigotry is."
Oh, that is so great. That gives me chills.
He did that.
Yes, sir. Hi.
How you doing? I have a comment for all the panels. One, I applaud you. I applaud you. Two, I think that the adults of your family is giving you the wrong ideas, negative feelings that you have, because you can always love your father whether he's gay or not. Two, you'll have to accept it now because she's not going to change. She's not going to change, period. And for you, I applaud you for having a strong enough mind to try to accept it. But your brother's not going to change, and he's the same person you grew up with, period. Regardless if he's gay now, he's not. He's always been gay. He's not just gay now. He's always been gay. And love him, because my sister here, she loves me more than she ever loved me. And yes, I am gay too. Yeah.
And proud of it. We'll be right back after this. More with Donald Suggs. To say something.
Yes, I want to tell both Cynthia and Marie that I love them both and I respect them, and I'll always respect them for who they want to be, but they know how hard things have been for us as a family for the past few years, and I think it's time that they stand by me because I've always stood by them and I always will. But it's their turn.
Can you say something to my mom?
Yes.
Mom, it's been 3 years, and I just want to tell you I love you, and I'm going to stand by you whenever you decide. And I'm sorry, Hess.
I'm not trying to take your mom's love. I love her as much as I love you guys, and I'll always be there for you guys, no matter what.
And Cynthia, there's always going to be somebody wanting to pick on you. You've got to have that strength, though, and like I said, you have to have some loyalty to me like I've always had for you. I'm proud of who you are, no matter what you do.
It seems to me you don't have anything against Jesucita. It's just the fact that she has the same body parts that you do. I mean, it's that basic. That's really what it's about. You have nothing. She treats your mom right. She treats you guys right. They have a wonderful relationship. What is the problem besides her physicality?
Just, my mom says she's happy now, okay? But I never see her happy because they're always fighting. No matter over it's a piece of gum or anything.
Well, it's because we don't get time to ourselves.
That's right. If you guys would give us...
She's always with you guys. I mean, we can't be alone without us having to take all the kids or, you know.
I don't know. We don't know how to be a couple because I take their side all the time. And I know it's wrong sometimes because we don't spend time as a couple. And, you know, I forget I'm the mom, and she's just a little girl, and she needs to respect that.
Donald, how does mom balance all of this?
Well, I mean, we're talking about 3 husbands and now a wife. I mean, that's going to take a little time. So I think you have to be patient with them. And I think that for you girls, I think you have to stop worrying about what other people think and start focusing on your own family and be grateful that you do have a family that's more stable than the one you've had in the past.
Sounds like good advice. Hurry, hurry, get some more in. What else can you say quickly? Bonnie?
And when people love each other, that's what it takes to make a family. Love does make a family. And you know that this woman loves you very much. You know your dad loves you very much. This is your family. And you want to defend your family to the rest of the people who pick on you, because they're wrong, and the people who love you are right.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Donald. We'll be back. Today knew their loved ones were gay, they probably focused on all of the things they shared in common. And now that the gay thing is out of the bag, all they can focus on is how many ways they're different. I hope that they can come to the realization that their family members are still the same people they've always known. And I hope they can come to celebrate the ways in which they are now different, because that's what makes life truly interesting. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all my guests for sharing your very personal stories. And to you at home, see you next time.